Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I am now joined by 2014 NFL Draft prospect, defensive tackle out of Liberty University, Jibrille Fewell. Thanks for joining the show, man. How's it going?
It's going good. Thank you for having me, man. I'm just blessed.
Hey, the pleasure is all mine. Now, I just want to mention that, first off, you have had one hell of a journey to get to where you're at right now as you first attended Buffalo University, where your future was looking pretty bright. You were named the most improved player in the spring practices, and then you decided to transfer to Butte College in California, where you still played football, and you finished the season with 47 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. And then you made another transfer to South Carolina State, where you played the 2010 football season, and you would ultimately make one more change, and that was to attend Liberty University, and you've been there for about 2 years now. Can you just start off by telling us more about this journey of yours and how you got to where you're at right now at Liberty?
It's just a blessing. My journey is different than most people. My journey was, it was all God. With all these moves, I went to Buffalo and with Coach Turner Gill, and my mom got sick. And I went to South Carolina State, and things didn't work out there the way I wanted to. So I went to California and transferred to Butte back with Coach Turner Gill. So the journey is a little different than most people's journey to go to the NFL. But if I had to do over again, I'd do the same thing, because I learned a lot. And through this journey.
And your time with Turner Gill has continued during your time at Liberty. He's the coach over there, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Coach Gill is like my father, And most of the staff that was at Buffalo is at Liberty. So it was an easy transition. They know me. They know what type of player I am. They know what type of person I am. And I know the same thing about them. I know their families. And, the transition was so smooth there. And, if I had to do it again, I'd do the same thing over.
And talk a little bit about these past 2 seasons at Liberty. Coming in, did you expect to play in all 11 games during the first season of yours as a Liberty Flame? I mean, it sounds like you're pretty confident in yourself. I mean, you know all these coaches. I got to think you're pretty confident heading into this first season at Liberty.
Yeah, it was. And the transition with the teammates made it easier too. They come from similar backgrounds, and some people around the area I played against in high school in the South Carolina, North Carolina area. And, I was confident because I knew most of the scheme, from remembering it from my freshman year at Buffalo, and then just being coached by Coach Singletary. I know what type of coach he is. I know what type of play he wants from his players. And it was just an easy transition. It was a little easier transition than going to another program where I didn't know the system and stuff like that.
Now, you ended that first season of yours at Liberty with 5 tackles in a game against the VMI Cadets. And, I just got to ask you, do you feel that was your biggest game of the season? It kind of helped yourself, set up a better future for 2013?
Yeah, the last two games of that season really just helped me, start on a great 2013 season. The game before the VMI game, Stony Brook, that was actually my best game, I would say, I played there that year. I only had like 3 tackles, but it's just a disruption I made up, and, we won the conference championship that night. And, VMI just carried it over for the Stony Brook game. And VMI was probably the best statistical game I had there my junior year.
Now, you racked up 21 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss during that junior year of yours, which was your first year at Liberty. What were your expectations entering this past season? It's your second year at Liberty. You're getting to know these coaches that you already have known for a while. You're getting to know them a little bit more, and you're getting to know your teammates more. You're getting familiar with the actual team. What were your expectations for this past season?
My expectations were just to dominate every game and to do whatever I need to do to help the team win. And, we won the conference championship again this past year. So I'm just like, the year before, just more of a learning curve, let me just do what I can do. And this year it's like, all right, I need to step up and be a leader and it'll help lead this team to another conference championship. We wanted to get to the playoffs, but it didn't work out. But I can look back and say, I left out a champion. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you recorded 32 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback sack. And like you said, the Liberty Flames finished the season 8-4 and were conference champions. Now, Jibrille, how do you feel that yourself and your team performed overall this past season? You satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. We could have did a whole lot better. We just messed up on little mistakes. But, God has his plan, and, we still won the conference championship. We still got a little bit of taste in our mouth because we didn't go to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But, hey, God has something else planned for us. So, I can't complain about how the season went. I left out a champion, so.
Hey, you're right about that. Now, Jibrille, as I said earlier, man, you have had one hell of a ride. Overall, how would you describe your college experience?
Ooh, my college experience, man. Let me see. Lucky, it's like you're going through a tunnel. You're going through a dark tunnel. You don't know where you're going. You go this way, you bump into a wall. You go this way, you bump into the wall. Then when I got to Liberty, I seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and the light is in the field. So, it's been a journey, man. I learned a lot through the journey. And it kind of made me have a unique story. Have other people, because most people you hear just go to one school, be there for 3 to 4 years, graduate, go to the NFL. But you don't really hear about a guy who went to 3 schools to get to what he wanted to do, to live out his dreams. So, I had to take a little long road, but I learned a lot through the different phases of college. Going from my freshman year, I learned something. Sophomore, junior, senior year. So I can't complain about it, and I'm just blessed to be in the position I'm in now.
Now, maybe it was some guys over at Buffalo, maybe it was some guys over at South Carolina State, maybe it was some guys at Liberty. Have any guys that have, played with you on the same football team and are now in the NFL, have any of them ever come back to you and maybe just tell you what to expect at the next level?
Yeah, at Buffalo, I got JT, Josh Thomas. He plays corner for the Carolina Panthers, and I hung out with him because Charlotte and Rocky is right beside each other. I hung out with him in December, and he was just telling me how it was and stuff like that. And I got a god brother who plays for the Buffalo Bills. He played at South Carolina. And so he was a top 10 pick, Stephon Gilmore. And, just talking with him, seeing somebody that close, being, he got drafted top 10. He telling me everything, how it works in and out and stuff like that. And Mike Brown at Liberty, I didn't play with him, but he just gave me advice because he I was going to be going through this situation. And, what he told me and stuff like that is really helping me towards what I need to expect when I get to the next level.
Chris Shanafelt talking with 2014 NFL draft prospect, defensive tackle out of Liberty University, Jibrille Fewell. And Jibrille, what is the number one thing, a part of your game that you're most confident in, and what is something that you feel that you could still work on?
I think the most, I'm confident in my playmaking ability, stopping the run, my motor. I just have a knack to be around the ball. But I can work on my pass rush, doing different moves and, having more than 2 or 3 moves, just think about the move before I do it. Stuff like that, little simple things, maybe a little bit of my technique. There's always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're talking about your ties in the NFL. You have a buddy with the Carolina Panthers. Your godbrother plays for the Buffalo Bills. Now, many people don't know that you're actually cousins with who some would say will be the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft in defensive end out of South Carolina, Jadeveon Clowney. Now, as a fellow defensive lineman, are there some things, a part of your game, that you think he has helped you with and vice versa?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. He always talk about disengaging blocks, because we look at the film and sometimes he's like, he taught me a little move that can help me with disengaging blocks. And, I tell him things about keeping his pad level low and, knowing when to set up the moves and stuff like that. So we feed off each other. We try to talk, at least once a month because he out training in Florida. So, it's good that, somebody that you grew up with, somebody that grew up with you going through the same thing. But here's a little different situation than mine. She knows it's going to be at least a top 3 pick. Mm-hmm. So, I'm proud of him, man. I'm so proud of him. And, all the things he had to overcome, too. So, it's just a blessing that both of us is about to live out a dream.
Hey, both of your guys' futures are looking very bright, and now, Jibrille, we know that numbers don't mean anything, but you are ranked the 94th best defensive tackle out of all 228 of them that will be entering the 2014 NFL Draft. I gotta ask you, do you pay attention to stuff like that, where you're ranked and where people have you going in their mock drafts?
No, sir. I don't get into involved with that because, at the end of the day, God got the final say so. He got his own draft board. So, I'm just depending on God. And I actually didn't know that until you told me. So, I'm trying to I want to be ranked high, but at the end of the day, God got the final say so. He got all the decisions that's going to be made. And, he got his own draft board. So I'm just going to lean towards him and, and see what happens during draft night.
Yes, sir. That's according to NFL Draft Scout, by the way, if you're wondering. You are ranked the 94th best defensive tackle out of all 228 of them. Like I said, that doesn't really mean much. I mean, we see guys that start, 200 and they climb up. You got to start somewhere, and there's no doubt about it that that number will definitely be rising very shortly. My next question for you, man, is there any chance that you've talked to any scouts, and if so, what are they saying about you?
I talked to a couple of them. They were telling me that, they like me. They like my motor. They like the way I play the game. They like my knowledge of the game. And they just telling me, just you can't. It's not really much you control. What you can control is how you test. What you say or how you treat people. And, just the little things that you can control as far as your numbers and stuff, and everything else is out of your control. So, I mean, that's what I get from them. I really haven't talked to, I haven't talked to all 13 teams, but they came by and talked to my coach about me. He told me some good things. He told me some things I need to work on and stuff like that. So, I'm just blessed to be in this position, man. Most people don't even be able to say they talk to an NFL scout or be considered an NFL prospect. So,
hey, man, people dream about stuff like that. People dream about stuff like that. I'm sure you are very proud, and I know that you are very blessed to be in the position that you are in. And, Jibrille, just a few more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. If you would compare yourself to a defensive tackle currently playing in the NFL, who do you think that would be and why?
I say two of them. Geno Atkins and Jibrille Casey. I say Geno Atkins because of his motor, and we the same height. So the way he plays and the way I play is a lot similar. And that's what my coach, he called me little Atkins or little John Randall. He's an older player, but that's who my coach compares me to. And another guy's Jibrille Casey because I'm about the same height as him, and I kind of look similar to him on tape as far as the way we move, the way we change directions, the way we, do stuff on the field, just watching film on him. So those two guys and Hall of Famer John Randall is who I kind of compare myself to, who I look up to, and who I feel that if you cannot borrow some stuff that they do to help my game out.
Hey, man, those are some great guys, man. You definitely cannot go wrong with those names. And here's one of my favorite questions I like to ask people, and that is, let's say for whatever reason there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want Jibrille Fewell, defensive tackle out of Liberty University, on his team?
Because, number one, I'm going to go in every day, work hard, do whatever it takes for us to win the Super Bowl. The ultimate goal of every team is, and, I've been through a lot. I know how to overcome adversity. And, you know, in football, you overcome adversity. Football is kind of like life. You have your up and downs in football. It's how you respond through your downs to get to your ups. So I've been through a lot, and I know how to get through the adversity. I know how to work through it. You know, I know where my strength comes from. My strength comes from God, and you know, and I feel like if an NFL GM listening to this, they would know just from the sound of my voice, you know, that I'm the right guy for them.
Well, you certainly sound determined, and you definitely are hungry for success. I can tell you that. I mean, your journey tells it all. You know, final question for you, man, and that is, you know, how's this experience treating you, man? How excited are you for not only your pro day to take place, but the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft? I got to think all this is like a dream come true.
Yeah, it is. I wake up every morning like, man, you're not waking up like 6 o'clock in the morning to train for the next year or for the next season. You're actually training for a job. You're actually training for your dreams to come true. And I wake up every morning and be like, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be able to be in this position while I'm training for something that I always dreamed about ever since I was 7 years old. So it's kind of surreal. Like, I had to slap my face and like wake up to reality. Like, man, like, this is, like, my dream's about to come true. And so every day I just thank God for the opportunity I have.
Hey, man, your dream's about to come true very shortly, man. You only got a few more months until you could finally call yourself an NFL player. We got until May, man. I know your name's going to be called, and if not, you're going to be getting a phone call very shortly after that NFL draft. Jibrille, man, I really do appreciate your time, man. It really was a pleasure speaking to you. I'm really wishing you nothing but the best. And, you know, just before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to myself and our listeners?
Oh, yeah, thank you for having me on your show and, you know, taking the time out to reach out to me. And thank you for this interview. And for everybody who's listening, I just thank y'all for supporting me and the people who supported me through this long journey of mine. And I'm finally going to be able to live out my dreams in a couple more months. So I just want to tell everybody thank you. And I want to give all the credit to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, you got it. Once again, I'm wishing you nothing but the best, man. And hopefully we keep in touch. All right, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you.